Good morning, you guys. It's Friday. We love Friday around here. How are you doing? 1 week out from Thanksgiving. How's everybody doing? How are you doing? If you're on the replay, let me know you're on the replay. My name is Kirsten Liebelt, and I live in Minnesota. We come here every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central, and we talk about insulin resistance. So here we go. I'm very excited to see you guys today, as always. And if you have anything to do like with your gallbladder and liver today, this is your day. You're going to want to listen into this particular episode because we are going to talk about your gallbladder. I was listening to some of Dr. Eric Berg's information. I really appreciate him. And so I want to be able to give you kind of like a really good overview thought process. And as you know, every day, when we talk about insulin resistance and being able to finally lose fat and get off of meds and do all of that stuff, we talk about the liver, the gut, and insulin all the time. Because if you can target your liver, your gut, and get your insulin down, you can literally freaking change your life. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I guess I'm a little dramatic. I mean, seriously, you guys, hi, Barb, good to see you from Canada. These testimonies that come in, they are just freaking amazing. I mean, MRI on a fatty liver that went from bad to mild. She just turned 70 years old. Terry with 62, and she just had she lost 50 pounds, and she has her A1C down, and all of the inches that are lost, and targeting that visceral fat. Good morning, Megda. Good to see you. Happy Friday. All that visceral fat. And do you know where the visceral fat is? Do you guys understand? Your visceral fat is in your trunk, and it's dangerous. It's not good. No bueno. Right, Megda? No bueno. And so you have to get rid of that visceral fat that's underneath. You think that it's just fat that you can pinch. You think that you're just frustrated because you can't zip up your jeans. You think what has happened to me? Oh, well, I'm just getting old. It's just normal for me to gain, all this weight underneath my belly or underneath my chest, my chest, my upper belly, my lower belly. You think this is normal. I have to, hold on. I got to do something on Instagram. I have to put my Wi-Fi to figure out my Wi-Fi because it paused due to poor connection. Okay. Hold on 2 seconds. I think it'll be okay now, Instagram. I had to fix my Wi-Fi. Good morning, Peggy from Pennsylvania. Good to see you, Jody. You're feeling great today. Woohoo! Jody is amazing. Hi, Kathy. Meg just says, yep, no bueno. That's hilarious. I know, right? No bueno. See, I can speak Spanish, Magda. Okay, I'm joking. That's pretty much all I know. Anyway, okay. But let's dive in here because this is the hottest topic of conversation. When we start to talk about fatty liver, when we start to talk about gallbladder, when we start to talk about all of the frustration of not being able to burn fat, if you cannot ever get to the root cause of what's going on in your body, I just don't know. It's going to be like Band-Aids forever. And I didn't understand that y'all were going to be so motivated in your 60s and 70s to fix your bodies. This is amazing. And not everybody is. I have customers that are in their 40s, right? I didn't start anything until I was in my 50s. Okay. So I was gestational diabetic at 22. I was hypoglycemic at 25 with that pregnancy. I turned 30. My dad is gone. He dies from type 2 diabetes. He's only 63 years old. I spent all of the decade of my 30s doing nothing, eating everything white and just living life, whatever, addicted to coffee creamer. I mean, it was whatever. I get into my 40s, perimenopause hits. I go upside down just like everybody else. That's where all that anxiety comes in, a little bit of depression, kind of mimicked postpartum. It was terrible. I'm like, what's going on? I don't know anything about insulin resistance. My mother won't stop talking to me about my sugars because my dad died. And I'm Italian. We have a lot of this in our family. And I get to 50 and I'm a 2X in size. I go in for shoulder surgery, rotator cuff, because I was in a car accident. And they thought for sure it had not torn. Indeed, it did. They find it out like 5 years later. I go in for rotator cuff surgery. I come out and I never have a cycle again. Never. So all of a sudden, 9 months after that, I'm like, oh, you mean to tell me this gets worse? Like my body felt like it was liquefying. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of back fat. Wow, like what's going on? I'm a little jelly here. And I didn't like that. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'll finally start to change what I'm doing. Okay. So this is when I'm like, I don't know how to trade out my foods yet, but I do decide that I'm going to do some supplementation. But the thing is that like, I was never a supplementer in my entire freaking life. Like never. I was not a routine person. I was not a disciplined person. I was not a supplementer person. I wasn't eating organic. I wasn't eating anything other than what I wanted to eat. Okay. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'll at least start supplementing for my sugars. I'm really thinking about my weight at this point. I'm just thinking like, I got to deal with my sugar. So that's what I started with. I started with the trio and I talk to you guys about it all the time. 3 supplements that have 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. Okay. Then I start learning about how to trade out my foods. Maria Emmerich is a really big piece of that puzzle because she's super creative and amazing. And a lot of other people are really good. And then I basically go through this whole process and I'm able to now teach the food ingredient trade outs. And when we do food in the group, I just posted the new banner for the free 5-day challenge in the group. And it's going to be December 8th through the 12th. And notice the time change. It's at 1 p.m. Central, not 3. It's okay. All the replays are there for you anyway. But those are the dates because I did have to move it from that first week because of my husband's schedule. Anyway, but we do this free 5-day challenge every single month and it gives you a track to run on, right? It gives you food ingredient trade out. So I can teach that now. We teach grain-free, legume-free, and sugar-free while still being a total foodie. Do you think I stopped being a foodie? I'm Italian. Like it's in my blood. If you take my blood type is foodie. So like, okay, just kidding. But I'm just saying like, you know, I just needed to learn how to change out the ingredients to the foods that I already love. I wasn't looking to get rid of the foods. I wasn't looking to like go eat rice cakes like that. And that was really bad advice anyway, but I digress. Okay. So good morning, Patty, Marilyn. Good morning, sweet friend from New York. I bet you have a really cool accent, Marilyn. You guys, I always want to like meet all of you guys. I'm like, Terry, who lost the 50 pounds and has such an amazing testimony. We've been reading about her a lot this week. I've been telling you about her a lot this week. She lives in Tennessee. I'm like, oh, I want to come and meet you. I want to come and hug you. Magda is in New York. I want to come and hug Magda. I want to come and hug you guys. Okay, so here we go. What no one told you about your gallbladder, fat absorption, and your stubborn belly. And a lot of this is coming from Dr. Berg, Eric, E-R-I-C, okay? So if you've ever been told that your gallbladder is optional, now I know a lot of you have had it removed, so just stick with me, okay? You have to understand that if you've had your gallbladder removed, your liver is doing double duty, okay? So this is why we talk about the liver all the time. If you can deal with your sluggish liver, I am telling you, you can turn things back around. I have many of you that have had your gallbladder removed and you're still able to turn back the tide again and gain your life back. Like get it back again. Because I know there's a lot of vulnerability in it. You don't feel well. Your digestion doesn't feel good. You're running to the bathroom a lot. You're having issues. And you're thinking that, oh, there's this whole list of foods that I can't eat anymore for the rest of my life. Well, we'll kind of talk about that a little bit. So anyway, you know, and they take it out. They just take it out way too soon, right? My daughter had gallbladder issues. She resolved them with pretty much the stuff that I teach. And she was pregnant at the time and they didn't have to take it out. But this live, maybe it's going to be an eye opener for you, right? So because especially as women 40 plus, when you have perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, you're kind of in this whole range, right? Your gallbladder is playing a much bigger role than anyone ever explained. Okay. All this time. And then like this time of year, like with the holidays, like you're even doing more, right? You've got maybe a lot of rich foods that you're eating, and a lot of stress. And symptoms can flare during this time of year. So let's not let the holidays get the best of us, okay? But let's break this down in like real human language, okay? Let's make this super simple. So your liver makes bile, and you want that, right? You want your liver to function. So liver, 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 okay? Your liver makes bile, your gallbladder stores it, concentrates it, and it releases it exactly in the right amount when you eat. That's what your gallbladder is doing. The bile is the only way your body can absorb vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K, omega fatty acids. You need the bile in your liver. You need your liver to like ramp up its function. Like kiss it, love it, love it, love it. Do all of those things, okay? This is what you want. And you need those nutrients. You cannot be deficient in all of those nutrients, because guess what? Then your hair, your skin, your mood, your hormones, your immune health, your ability to burn fat is like down, down, down. And you're like, what's wrong with me? Why can't my body function? I must just be getting old. That's what it is. I'm just getting old. And then that's not even true, because Claudette, who lost 45 pounds in 5 months last year, she was 74. So I'm telling you, this is not about age. It's not about age. So when people say that your gallbladder is optional, this is not true. Now, if you've had it already removed, we work with the liver, right? We get that liver to function. Even you should pay even more attention, right? But gallbladder is literally the traffic controller for your bile flow, and bile flow is the traffic controller for your fat digestion, your cholesterol removal, and preventing fatty liver. So fatty liver goes up. For instances, go up when the gallbladder has been removed. Okay, so all the more importance to turn back that insulin resistance, to back out of insulin resistance land. Like, get me out of here. It's not a terminal diagnosis. I'm leaving. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gone. See you later. And you have to turn back around that insulin resistance. And we do that with us, you guys and me. We're doing this with food ingredient trade out. So we teach grain, sugar, and legume free. And then we're using targeted implementations to like literally like a laser focused on your liver, laser focused on your gut, and laser focused on bringing down your insulin. Like, let's get this taken care of. Okay. That's what we're doing. Here we go. So Dr. Berg teaches, and this is kind of what I see with you guys. Like, I always tell you guys, you create my own content, because what I talk to you about in the back alleyways, so to speak, messenger, voice texting and on Zooms and whatever we do, you still make bile, but you no longer store it and concentrate it if you've had your gallbladder removed. So that's not happening. And if you have your gallbladder, but everything is super sluggish and super sludgy, things are not moving. And just remember, some of this can get super heightened during the holidays. I'll just keep going and talk to you about it here. So that means thicker, sludgy bile, difficulty breaking down fats. So your digestion is like off and just dumb. Nutrient deficiencies. So you're like, why am I losing my hair? Why is my hair thinning? Why are my nails all brittle? Like, these are signs your body's talking to you. Okay. You'll have more bloating. Your waistline will be tighter. You're like, what is going on, right? Maybe you'll have right side pain. So go to it and go right underneath your boob right there. That's your liver and your gallbladder are right up under there. So if you have that right side pain, that's like, I've had people literally text me and say, oh my gosh, my pain, they started working with targeted supplementation with me. My pain went away. I've had that for years. Yep. Higher chance of fatty liver if you've had your gallbladder removed. Higher chance of SIBO, small intestinal bacteria, SIBO, bacterial. And then what does the O stand for? I'll have to look that up. Higher insulin resistance symptoms, big one. Frustrating. Higher triglycerides, and the triglycerides are what to pay attention to. It's not that overall cholesterol number, like according to Dr. Ken Berry, according to Maria Emmerich, it's the triglycerides. Okay. Your triglyceride to your good cholesterol ratio is really what you want to pay attention to. And higher visceral fat. And the visceral fat, I say it almost every single day, it is alive. This fat that's underneath what you can pinch and what is frustrating to you, that down underneath, that down under, it's alive. It's emitting inflammation and hormones. Okay. So this is why so many women will like tell me, my belly got worse after my gallbladder was removed. My digestion changed. I feel full under my right rib. My shoulder hurts. Okay. I can't eat the same foods that I used to. Okay. I hear this stuff all the time. This is why this ties into your belly fat and your insulin resistance. Here we go. You do not, when bile doesn't flow, when bile isn't like, okay, so your liver creates bile. And even if you've had, okay, it gets stored in your gallbladder and it's concentrated and then it's released very systematically. Okay, but let's say your gallbladder is removed. So this is for both people. It's all going to go back to conversation about the liver. Because if your liver is sluggish, you cannot burn fat. And if your liver is working overtime, it makes it even harder, right? So your liver is the biggest piece of your puzzle that you have to try to fix, that you have to try to support. We support the healing and the sealing of your gut. We support the liver function. Okay. But you can't absorb your omega-3s that help you lower inflammation. You don't absorb your vitamin D, which helps to regulate your insulin. You don't clear your cholesterol well, so your liver backs up. Okay. A backed up liver stores more fat. Period, the end. And visceral fat skyrockets. This is such a challenging cycle to understand because nobody talks about it. Nobody shares this. They only talk about the Band-Aids, and usually the Band-Aids from the medical matrix are going to be scripts. Okay. So we do it differently here, don't we, girls? Don't we? So many women think they just gained weight. I just gained weight. But really their liver and their gallbladder system slowed down and insulin resistance moved in. So like if you once you get your mind wrapped around it, it makes so much sense. And then you're like, oh, so what you're telling me then is, and that then comes back to targeting your supplementation specifically for your liver, your gut, your insulin, and trading out the foods that you already love. Like you're not giving up the foods that you love. You're trading out the foods that you already love with just different ingredients. That's all. I mean, it's not rocket science. It does, however, take time and intention. So this is why I love so many of your stories, because you're like, listen, I've taken the last year and a half and I accomplished this. Like Terry is a year and a half. She lost her 50 pounds within a certain amount, I think 8 months or whatever, but then now she's maintained it. Right. So it's like this journey of first you have to get your body to function to produce a different result. Then you are able to actually lose the weight or have the better MRI on your fatty liver or get your meds down or, all of the things that you want, all of the, get your visceral fat on your visceral fat scans down, all that stuff. And then you lose the weight that you're actually burning real fat, not just losing water weight or inflammation, but then you want to stabilize that. You want that to last forever. You want to feel like you walk away with a key. You want to feel like you walk away with understanding that you take with you forever. You do not want to think that you're just going to, because you're not going to ever take the shoddy shot. You're not going to take that forever, are you? No. Right? So what do you do when you're done with that? Or what do you do if you're trying to avoid that? Some people are trying to do that. You need a key for the rest of your life. I absolutely adore Claudette's testimony at 74, because guess what? So she got it figured out at 74, but now she gets to have a very functioning, healthy life now moving forward. She has a key. And that changes then the way she will age from there on out. And it changes the way that she will have to maybe, I can't, I don't know her whole story, right? But maybe that completely changes how somebody has to or does not have to take care of her. These are really big conversations to have, right? Very big conversations. Julie, thank you. Overgrowth. Yes, it's overgrowth. Small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Thank you, Julie. Thank you for letting my brain work today. Do you know what's really weird? This is a total side note. In the shower this morning, like I got water in my ear and this ear is plugged. And I'm like, why is ear plugged? And so it's kind of like intermittently just bugging me that it's plugged. So maybe that's like affecting my brain. I don't know. Do you love Kathy? Love Dr. Berg. This is me, no gallbladder here. Yep. Then we're going to focus even more on your liver. And Kathy, this is exactly what you're doing. You're already doing it. I mean, you should be so thankful that your brain, so thankful that you kind of like made that connection for yourself, because you're going to be able to change the way your body is delivering results for you, but how you're going to feel about stuff too. Hi, Susan. Hi, Sue. Good to see you. Darlene from Georgia. Good morning, Darlene. Luana, Minnesota girl. Good to see you. Call you guys. The whole party is here. We're just going to like sail through the holidays. We're going to sail through the holidays. So, okay. So let's then just talk about how do I personally teach like a targeted supplementation for root cause wellness. You have to get to the root cause of what's going on and make that decision that you're going to give yourself permission for a journey that is not going to be about band-aids anymore, because you finally want to change. Maybe for you, it's meds. Maybe for you, it's, and that's just a whole nother conversation. I someday I want to do a live more on that. Sometimes I get a little timeless because of the algorithms, the bots that, you have to speak in such code. It's a very powerful force. And so you do have to be a little careful, but I will tell you that, every single script, without exception, has a side effect. And sometimes it's, it can be everything from hair loss to, constipation to whatever it is. There's always going to be a side effect. And that's not true with, yes, supplementation can be done incorrectly, no question. And it's not FDA regulated. So you do have to be careful where you're getting your supply from, because you don't want somebody who's not doing third-party testing or have all of their ingredients traceable. You kind of don't want that. But anyway, but for the most part, when you take ND, you don't have a side effect that's negative. That probably is helping you, right? You don't take a multivitamin that's, filled with good plant nutrients, let's just say, and have a side effect that is actually filling you with nutrition. But every script has a side effect. And so when you guys, it's probably one of my favorite things is when you let me know the meds that you're getting off of, because that's changing your future so much. It's changing your future. Okay. So the total body reset, talk about this all the time, every day, because I want people to know that you can actually do very, very specific targeted supplementation for exactly what we just talked about: your liver, your gut, and your insulin. Your liver, your gut, and your insulin. If you do not get insulin down, you can't burn fat. You have to get your insulin down. It's a hormone. Most of you are never tested for it. Most of us are never tested for it. They wait until your sugars rise, and then they put you on Met. Okay. So when your insulin is high, you can't burn fat. When your liver is sluggish, because maybe you don't have a gallbladder, or maybe just because you do have a gallbladder, but you are getting to that point where it's just your bile flow from your liver to your gallbladder is really slow. This is the liver piece, right? And then your entire gut. Now remember, your gut is from your mouth all the way down the other end. Your gut is everything. So you want to be able to change your oral health. You want to be able to change your gut health. You want to support the healing and the sealing of your gut. That is the nutrient absorption that you need in your life. You need to make sure you're impacted, wasted, moving. You need to be pooping. You need to be pooping and sleeping. These are the things that we have to fix, girls, because when we do, our life gets so much better, right? Like nobody benefits from us being like so freaking exhausted that we can't see straight, or having insomnia, or fill in the blank, right? Nobody like, we can't serve anybody then, right? That's what that goes. So, all right. So I was 2X when I started at 50. And I laugh at myself because I'm not sure where I thought it was all going. Like, when you're gestational diabetic at 22, like, why do you wait almost 30 years to deal with yourself? I don't know, but I did. It's okay. I don't have shame about it. I just am like, I kind of chuckle because I tell the story so much. I'm like, so Kirsten, what were you thinking? And the answer is I wasn't, but that's okay. All right. So I started and I didn't even want to trade out my foods. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much not going to happen. Like, I'm not sure what I was thinking, but that's okay. Joan, you're so sweet. Thank you, coach, for the ideas for controlling our lives better. You're so grateful. Joan, you're such a gift. You're such a gift. You're such a joy. I hope everybody around you appreciates how encouraging you are, because you're very, very sweet. I thank you so much. Anyway, okay. So I started with the trio, the 3 supplements. Okay. So these are the 3, and I have to be careful with TikTok. So these are the 3. This one is your insulin and your sugars, both. Okay. 3 times a day. If you want to accelerate your results, or you need amplified results, take 2 of them 3 times a day. They're trace minerals and a couple of herbs. This is going to help with your food noise and your sugar cravings. But it's going to get that insulin down, 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 so your body can finally begin to burn fat. This is your liver. That's the second piece of your life that you have to fix in order to burn fat, is your liver. And this one is your metabolism. This is where I started. This is how I lost my 3 sizes, traded out my foods, and I supplemented and I supplemented and I supplemented. And I got my body to deliver me a different result. Okay, that's what I did. You're welcome, Joan. Then what I did was I started to, when they launched the gut primer, I added in the gut primer. And this has been such a game changer for so many of you, because again, if your gut is messed up and you can't absorb the nutrients that you need, then it makes it very hard to fill in those nutritional deficiencies that can change the way your body is regulating insulin, regulating glucose. Just by, I have such a great testimony that I tell sometimes. In my line is premium multivitamin, multimineral phytonutrient. You take 3 of them 2 times a day. Amazing, like super high flood your body with nutrition. So I have a friend who, his dad started doing this. This is now about 7 years ago. But like for a decade, he couldn't get his sugars under control. And all he did was he started taking that and flooding his body with nutrition. And after 4 months, his A1C came into check for the first time in, like, I think it might've been 15 years, but I don't want to ever exaggerate. So let's even say it was a decade. And then he goes on to lose 50 pounds because he got his body the nutrition that he needed. But if you have insulin resistance for a very, very long time, it creates leaky gut. So then all of your nutrients are just flooding right out of you. And it's like, those nutrients are what actually gets your body to start firing again. If your hair is falling out because you have a nutritional deficiency, you need those nutrients to get in, to absorb into your system. And if you have a liver that is sluggish and you're not absorbing those nutrients, like what did we say? A, E, D, K, omegas, then your body is like, it's fritzing. It's like what it's doing, right? Julie says, need to message you for the insulin supply. You message me, Julie. You're so funny. Oh, the insulin supply supplement. Do you mean the, I know what you're talking about, Julie. Message me from the UK. Yes, do, because I think that is actually going to be available for you in the UK in a version for you guys. Okay. So what they do is they take that and make it specific for every single country according to what their deficiencies are. That's pretty freaking amazing. Okay, so the gut primer, this has 6 different blends in it. I put this in cold water. I moved my cup again this morning, and I froth it up. 6 different blends, but this is liver, 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 liver. But also too, then what you're going to notice is you're going to notice like your bloating decreasing. I'm in a conversation with somebody right now, and she's like, oh, thank God, like my bloating is going down. And she gave me a very long conversation about what she's been through in the medical community, even in naturopathic settings, that never, it would help one thing, but that bloat, she just couldn't get rid of the bloat. So anyway, so bloating, let's move that constipation. Let's get your impacted waste moving. Let's get your inflammation to go. Let's get your body to absorb nutrients, get your acid reflux to like leave the building, those types of things. That's the kind of stuff. So this is a very big liver support. Then it's the probiotic. This is the 5th piece of the puzzle. 5 live strains. You just put it on your tongue. It's a powder. And the 6th one is the visceral fat burner. Visceral fat specifically designed to target it. And you're like, so how can that possibly be? I don't know, but I do have your results. So your results have been MRI on a fatty liver, the bad to mild, visceral fat scans, in-body scans. That's where all of these inches come into play. When you're losing all of the inches from under your bust and down to your hips, this is your visceral fat. This is exactly what you're looking for, because then it's almost like your gauge, the fact that everything is doing what it's supposed to be doing, because you're like getting rid of the problem that's underneath that was created from the insulin resistance, and from maybe it is the lack of a gallbladder. So you lose your gallbladder. Now your liver's working overtime, and now fatty liver opportunity increases. And it's like, geez Louise, now my belly's sticking out, all of these things. And you're like, how will I ever turn that around? Well, you're going to love your liver. You're going to kiss it and love it every single day. You're going to target supplementation very specifically for it every single day. Let's see if I've got one here. And you're basically going to, how to properly eat. So this is the total 6 pieces. Okay. You're going to learn how to properly eat for your liver. So what does that mean? It really does mean that you decrease your grains. I teach eliminating grains, right? Your grains, your sugars, your legumes, stop the sugar spike that's calling on insulin all the time. Because when insulin as a fat storing hormone cannot get into your cell, because this is a cellular conversation, and if your cell is resistant, then it's going to store all of that extra energy as fat. And it's not going to just store it like around your ankles. That's water weight. But the fat is the visceral fat that you don't want. Is this for men as well? Absolutely, Melissa. 100% for men. Yes, your husband needs this as well. It is. And don't forget, this is where, it is a vicious circle. It is. I know. And then it affects your mental health and your confidence. Julie, that's 100% true. This is if I could even do a live on that, because what happens then is your gut is connected to your serotonin production. So then you're wondering why maybe you're dealing with a lot of sadness, instead of that D word, right? Your hair is practically non-existent on the top. I know, I understand. And you have to get your gut figured out, right? Got to figure this stuff out. Julie, good to see you, Julie. The 6 pieces, Julie, are the trio: the glucose health, the liver support, the symmetry, then the probiotic, the orange pixie stick, and the gut primer. Yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't think there's another. Julie. Let me know if that answered your question. You might have tried pieces of it, is what I'm thinking. But right now, so this is the deal. So like Melissa's, asking, is this for your husband? Just hold on a second. Let me explain the customer campaign to you. And I want to do this because I just don't feel like there are very many opportunities out there for us who want to be alternative in our thought process to really be able to be rewarded for trying to just take care of ourselves. Everything is like you have to either be able to code it to insurance, or you have to be able to use your HSA. And oftentimes for anything that's natural or supplementy, there's no HSA that you can cash in on. Maybe there are a few, and then good for you. You're in the minority and you should take advantage of that all day, every day. If you can submit any kind of a receipt and get your tax-free dollars on that in the US. But oftentimes there's not. So last March, they launched a campaign where when you purchase 150 or more 3 months in a row, you get $5 off of your order. It doesn't have to be specific products. It doesn't have to be an auto ship. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to track it, nothing. They do it all for you. They make it so easy for you. Now, you might want an auto ship, because I bonus people with auto ships. I do a drawing every month. I've done this for over 2 years. I do a drawing for a couple of full-size products every single month for people who have their auto ship. It's called a Ditto, by the way, DITTO. Anyway, you can always ask me about it. So you just get that benefit. Well, right now what they're doing is they're throwing in an extra $50 in January. So anybody who wants to start right now, like, you just have to wrap your brain around it. It almost sounds too good to be true. And so I know that we are always said that if it sounds too good to be true, it is. It's just not the case right now. So anybody that's starting in November, you'll go November, December, January. And or you have to be a registered customer. Do not check out as a guest. I've had people do that. And then I've been like, I've caught it quickly. And I'm like, quickly call, cancel that. I just reorder. And then they have to get the deal. So November 150 or more, December 150 or more, January 150 or more. Now you're doing a 90-day run, right, for your health to see if this is even what you want. Okay, just to do like a trial run on your body, and then you'll get 125 off in January. 120. That's a lot. That's a lot. So what I'm just saying is, if you do that 3 months, listen, it's a 6-month guarantee. So you're only doing 3 months. You have a 6-month guarantee, and it's a money back guarantee. None of this 30 days. You can't tell nothing in 30 days. You go further than that. I know, like, even Marilyn had said she did her 90 days to get that $75. She said, oh yeah, I'll do another 3 months now. Okay. So your consistency will be rewarded. Your decision to have a health journey will be rewarded in terms of helping you financially with that, right? But also too, then you're also, you're very motivated to actually like take on that piece of the puzzle, right? Like, it's very motivating to be like, I'll stay consistent. And then it turns into results and you're like, dang, that is awesome. So for anybody who wants to like even just see what I'm talking about, you can go to my site, which is my first last name.com. It's right here on Facebook and YouTube. It's right there. But it's KirstenLiebelt.com. And when you go there, hold on, I had the wrong one pulled up. Hold on. I have to type it in. So when you go there, you'll see my picture, and it looks just like my profile picture. But you can get onto my Facebook group if you want to, and I'm going to show you that too. But this is what my site looks like, my face. I have to be careful on TikTok. Right there. And the trio, just the 3 that I started with, is right there. And then the total body is right there. Okay. Make sure you register as a customer. It's right there. But then if you go to the bottom, there's a bunch of free resources on here also, by the way. There's a bunch of like underneath my before and after picture, there's a bunch of free resources. But on the very bottom, you'll see you can get into the Facebook group. You can also message me and do all that stuff. But if you go into the Facebook group, give your email to get in. But the 5-day challenge is coming up in December. And I don't want you to forget this. Like, before you even hit Thanksgiving, before you even hit what you might feel is hard for the holidays, kind of starting to feel like maybe they're encroaching on you, and somebody's bringing their famous sweet potatoes or whatever, before you even hit that. First of all, if you have the glucose health, take a couple of those every time you eat. But anyway, help to mitigate it. It won't fix it, but it'll mitigate. I was going to try to show you my banner on my Facebook, but it won't come up on this particular phone. So the banner, I just put it up. It's a December banner. It has like a little bit of like, you'll see it. It'll say December's free 5-day challenge. It's going to be start on Monday, 31st one. We've done this for 2.5 years. So if you're looking for a place where you can be consistent and you don't feel like it's all just going to go away on you or nobody's going to be there to support you, we've been doing this for 2.5 years. It's going to be December 8th through the 12th. And it's going to be at 1 p.m. Central. So we'll do 11 p.m. here and then 1 p.m. in the group that week. And that will help to give you a few nuggets to work with for the month of December, and then we'll do it again in January. Okay. So you feel like you've got something to help you with food ingredient trade outs, something to help you with like, I give you a tour of my pantry and my refrigerator so that you can see how I, as an Italian girl, have now like traded out my pantry. And then we'll talk about, I kind of go through supplements fast with you guys here because that's just what we do, right? Because it resonates with some people and not with everybody. But I do a deeper dive inside of the challenge. And then on Fridays, we always do a recipe every single year. Now, this last recipe, we did like a stuffing that was keto for Thanksgiving, making like a cheesy almond flour bread, blah, 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 turning it into stuffing, yada, yada. I don't know what we'll do yet in December. We'll see. But we do this every single month because your key to success is actually consistency. Your key to success is actually, you just take a little bit and you apply it. Month you take a little bit and you apply it, and you learn how to keep applying just a little bit at a time without shame, without like being mean to yourself, without all of these things. So learn this new language and it becomes your new life. This is how you will end up going, wow, I can't believe all the things that I've changed for myself. I actually have applied these things. I've actually executed on these things. That's how this happens. I was a turtle. I was slow. It might be faster for you. You guys go faster than I did, because I was doing it alone. You guys have each other. That does really help, right? So there you go. Oh, Julie, I will send you the phytonutrients. That's the one. I will send you a link for that when I jump off. The one that my friend was taking. That's the XX. Yeah. I'll send that to you. I'll send that because sometimes we are just deficient and we don't even know it. We don't even understand that we are deficient. And that keeps us from like prospering, right? So anyway, all right. Everybody have such an amazing day. Have a really good weekend. I hope you're going to do something for yourself this weekend. I'm actually helping a new business owner with an in-person event. Gosh, I wish you guys were in person. I could like see you guys and hug you, and that would be so fun. And then on Monday, I'll be back here at 11 a.m. again, Central Standard Time. So if you have any questions in the meantime, just reach out, okay? Message me in Messenger or go on IG and get into my DMs or whatever. Text me and let me know if you need something. Somebody like Melissa, where it's like you and you want your husband to have help too. I'll answer those questions and help you customize what you need. So have such a good day. Julie, the insulin capsule. Okay. I will do that, Julie. I'll send that to you. Be blessed, Marilyn. Have a really good weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday. So, all right. Love you guys so much. See you later.